Hello guys, and this is Fuzzfinger, as usual, your host for today, and we're going to continue on with our Final Fantasy IX walkthrough by doing some optional side quests, content and item hunting. So please stick around and join me for that. If you enjoy this episode, don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel to be kept up to date with future episodes as and when I release them. So, cracking on, last time we finished off doing some more frog catching and we picked up a nice new weapon for Quina here in the Bistro Fork, which has an impressive 68 attack. So today we're going to continue where we left off in doing Quina stuff, and we're going to begin by acquiring some new blue magics. Now the first new blue magic we want to acquire is right here outside the third frog catching Q's Marsh on Lainar Island here, and it's the Adamantoise that we're after. He's the mob, the fiend that we want to eat, but just be warned, there are grand dragons roaming this plains which are level 60 dragons, and they hurt, so make sure you save your game. You can defeat them, and I will show you a little farming trick with them in a bit, but for now just avoid them and either run away or kill them if you have the right setup. But if you haven't prepared for them, you probably don't. Oh, for some reason I knocked the no encounters on there. And here we go, my first encounter is with the Adamantoise, which has 3,587 health. So we need to start whittling that down as per normal. And we should be able to smack him again with Zidane there. And we'll see if we can start eating. Yum yum. So we are going to be getting the Earthshake ability, which as you can see is being cast against us. And it's actually a quite useful ability to have for the party. It seemed a bit weak from that fella, but trust me, it is useful. Might not be enough damage yet. Oh no, we got it. So that's the first of 4 blue magics that we want to get. And the second blue magic, which is also useful, is actually in this very marsh. So we're going to head in there now and try and encounter the enemy we need, which is the Anemo. So I'll point that out once I've bumped into it for you. So this is the Anemo, and in similar fashion it also has 3,586 health. So we'll see if that's enough to learn Bad Breath, which you may or may not get based on other Final Fantasy games if you played them. It is pretty darn awesome. And it inflicts all kinds of status ailments on the target. So something I would highly recommend you learn. Miss? Sit down, you suck. Luckily, Quina's on the case here. So if you only want to do the bare minimum, I would highly recommend learning those last 2 abilities, Earthshake, which does earth damage in AoE, and Bad Breath, which causes certain status ailments in one attack. And then you can probably skip the next 2, which aren't great, although one of them is going to come into use of the next 2 that we learn. Okay, so the next stop is the beach up north here, and we're going to make our way across over through Conde Petty Mountain Path in order to reach the Ifa tree, since that's where our next blue magic ability is to learn. And here we are, just out the other side. So same place as before. The creature that we're after is the zombie, and I'll show you a little trick for learning the blue magic on this guy. Although he only has 970 health anyway, so it shouldn't be too hard to whittle it down. Okay, so this is the zombie, my first encounter. And all you have to do is cast a phoenix down and then eat it. Watch what happens. We'll start killing the others while we wait for Quina to get into action. There we go. And we get the Roulette Ability, which is pretty useless. but seeing as how we're doing a complete walkthrough and we do want to completely and utterly learn everything that we can in terms of blue magic, then we are still going to collect it. And we're going to use that same trick on the next enemy as well. And since how we were one-shotting those guys, it's probably the quickest way to really learn that ability if you're slightly overpowered, when they have so much, or so little health rather. Okay, so next we're heading back over to the Eastern Lost Continent, and we're going to collect our fourth and final blue magic for this section. So my apologies, this is the Lost Continent, up here to the north. I got a little bit confused with my Final Fantasy IX continents for a moment. But what we want to do is encounter an enemy on the beaches. I parked in the wrong place there, I have to keep going round. Known as the whale zombie. So I'll be right back with you once I've encountered it. Okay, here we go. We have the whale zombie. And once again, we can do exactly the same trick as I mentioned, which is just a case of Phoenix downing the sucker and then eating it. Oh no, don't kill it, Zidane. Stupid counter-attack. And then if Queena decides to actually do something, we should learn our fourth and final blue magic in the form of level 5 death. So that's not too shabby at all. We're levelling up nicely here. If we just go onto our ability list, I'll show you all the abilities that Queena has now learned, and she's got a good whack of them. There's only actually 3 blue magics left to learn. So if you've been following along and you make sure that you haven't missed anything, you can just check my list here. Every one of these I've shown you how to get, so they are in the walkthrough somewhere. And we just need to fill in these last 3 spaces, which we'll do a little bit later on as we find the opportunity to do so. So now that we've done that, I'm going to show you a neat little farming trick for experience. Mostly experience, a little bit of AP, but mostly experience. And to do that, we're just going to head back down to the little island with the 3rd Q's Marsh on, which we was on at the start of this episode. So I'll see you there. So make sure you save, because this guy, the green dragon, hits hard, and what we're going to do is cast the blue magic level 5 death on this fella, and his thunder ability is pretty nasty, and he's level 60, so yeah, you're not going to get much harder in terms of a standard mob, but level 5 death should make quick work of him, which is why we learn that blue magic. There are strategies to defeat this guy before you learn level 5 death at a lower level, but there's really no need to do farming, I don't think, before that point in the game. I mean, look, we've not really struggled to reach this part of this 3, have we? And you can basically just encounter this guy over and over and get all this XP as many times as you want. You can easily get a good few levels while you're here, if that's what you want to do. Just make sure you keep saving, of course, so that you don't die and lose your progress. But hopefully this farming spot will be good for you. And next we're going to go ahead and sort out the next Kupo nut, which we've actually had, I believe, in our inventory for the longest time. There it is. So we're going to go and get rid of that now. And to do that, we're going to need to head back to Gizmaluke's grotto. So I'll see you in a moment. Oh, just before I head over to the grotto, just a couple of items that you might want to equip if you're fighting those dragons, those grand dragons, is the coral ring, which halves thunder damage, and even the reflect ring, which, if you have auto reflect equipped, obviously reflects the Thundergar attack back at the grand dragon. But if you're quick enough with Queena, you should be able to actually avoid the Thundergar attack in the first place. But just a little heads up if you were struggling with that. Anyway, back to the main point of what we're doing next, and that's the Kupo nut. Okay, so once again, when you're ready, you can park up, and we can just start making our way across to the grotto area, which is just around here, I believe. There we go. I only use that little speed trick just to guide you guys on the way without having to spend too long showing you. And then we'll just head into the usual place. And the kids are around by the looks of it. So Marguta wants the Kupo nut, and this time we'll definitely get the extension, so long as you've been following the quest, of course. And after that, it's actually time to go shopping. And to do that, we're going to have to head to a slightly new place that we haven't been to before. So I'll jump back in the blue ship, and I'll meet you there. So back up here, we're going to head to this new place, just over yonder, this structure that's protruding out of the snowy mountains. Still a question mark to us. Very strange and cold place known as Esther Gaza. And it's not part of the story, at least not yet. But what we do want to do is go shopping. Since that's all we can do, by the way. And the reason why we want to do that is because we can purchase the mithril gear. So we'll just say hello to some folk. Welcome to Esther Gaza, thank you very much. I don't care for resting at the moment, but you have that option if you want to do so. See what's through this side first and foremost. Looks like we have a shopkeeper, and here we can purchase all the mithril gear that we might need. So nothing new, but what I do recommend is that you purchase the mithril sword if you haven't already. You're going to need at least 5 of them. This is one of the last opportunities we're going to have to purchase this item, since once the plot's been advanced, it will become unavailable. And you're going to need a minimum of 5 for synthesizing requirements at the end game, and I'm going to go ahead and purchase a few more just to make sure I've got enough. So we'll go ahead and get 15, and anything else that you need to get in terms of abilities, etc., you can go ahead and purchase also. But that's the reason why I wanted to bring you guys here, and just make sure at the very least you get those swords. Okay, so here we are at our next destination, which is Alexandria Harbour, the quickest way to return to Alexandria up here. And we're going to be doing some more item collecting here in Alexandria before we continue on with whatever we're going to do next. So, a couple of items we're going to grab first of all. First of all, we're going to head to the castle, and then we're going to make our way to the dock where the gondola is, if you remember that from earlier on. So we'll just take a nice little stroll through. So things aren't looking too great here in Alexandria at the moment, are they, bless? But, you know, there we have it. So this is where we wanted to go. And just around here, somewhere around here. No, not through there. Oh, it's just down here, actually. In the corner there. I knew it was around the left-hand side. There's an opal for us to pick up. And the second item is... there is another item around here. There we go. It's a peridot. And then somewhere around here is a third item, a sapphire. So it looks like there's a few jewels have come all over the place when this place was destroyed. Now obviously we can't go any further than this to get into the castle from here. So once we've grabbed those 3 items, we can head on to the gondola in order to make our way into the main town area. Right, so there's more items we can pick up now that we're in the main town section. But before we do that, there's a couple of bits that we can pick up from here itself, including a topaz, and I believe just on the other side here, kind of symmetrical item hunting, we get 4,800 gil. And now we can actually go into the main square. And again, the town isn't looking in the best condition at the moment, is it? Bless them. So if we go here to where the weapon shop used to be, we can pick up 365 gil. And a few more items as well. A nice remedy. And then just on the other side, nope, come back, Zidane. Let's not be too hasty. An amethyst. And then if we speak to this girl here, she should give us a card. Maybe it's this person. I thought we'd get an Alexandria card. I'm not sure why we're not, unless I've missed something. Maybe it's because I'm full on cards or something, I don't know. How bizarre. Let's just try that again, otherwise we'll put it down to the fact that we're not going to get anything. Okay, we'll leave it. Anyway, try to talk to that girl and you may get an Alexandria card, but for some reason I am not. Now we're going to head out the south exit. And somewhere around here we should get an ether. And here we'll get a sapphire. Next we're going to head to the steeple. So we'll head back into Alexandria and make our way there next. And the reason we're going here is for MOG net deliveries. So we're going to go to Mognet and give Kupo the letter from Kupo, which is his big brother. And we get another Kupo nut, so you can guess where we're going next. You can still use the weapon shop and the synth shop, by the way. They've just changed locations. The weapon shop's now near the inn, and the synthesis shop is in the alley where we ran into Puck, if you remember, earlier on. But other than that, we're pretty much done in the ruins of Alexandria for the time being, and we can head back out to the Blue Narcissus, where we will, of course, be making our way once again to hand in the next Kupo nut. So here we are once again back with Maguta, and we're going to give Maguta the next nut for another random item. This time we get the Phoenix Pinion, although it might be different for yourselves. And now we're going to head back to Lindblom. And by the way, what I'm also going to do is just change my party members up a bit, now that we've learned some different abilities and whatnot on the current setup. I think it's time that we change things up and start learning abilities and getting experience on some of the other members. So once again, if you want to do that, you can talk to Sid on the Blue Narcissus and he will sort things out for you. Okay, so here we are once again back at the good old Lindblom Harbour. And just to confirm, I've thrown Freya and Amaranth in the party, since Freya desperately needs to level up and learn abilities, and Amaranth is also slacking on abilities especially, but also could do with levelling up a little bit to catch up with the rest of the team. So anyway, all we've come here to do is to find the Moogle and get the next Kupo nuts by delivering the letter to him. So we want to make our way to the business district, and we'll find the Moogle that we need with the next nut in here. And here he is, look. This is Mudoon, so we'll once again do Magnet. We have the letter for him from Moog Key, who is actually also in Lindblom if you don't have that for whatever reason, in the guest bedroom. But we'll give that to him. And we get another Kupo nut to hand in. So, no surprises where we're going to next. And here we are back once again at the grotto. And we'll go ahead and speak to Marguta once again. And we get another Phoenix Pinion. Aren't we blessed? Yeah, we don't want to go up there, not unless you want to fight more of those Grand Dragons. But I suppose if you do, then you always could. Right then, now the only thing that I want to do today, there's lots more optional stuff to do, especially in the way of chocographs, but just to make this episode somewhat resembling a normal length. I don't know how long it is, by the way, at the time of recording this, but I've been on it for a couple of hours now, obviously cutting bits out and what have you. But anyway, we're going to go and do some Ragtime Mouse, since we can actually finish his side quest now that we have everything available to us in the way of areas and whatnot. Alright guys, well I did try and find Ragtimer, but he was being extremely stubborn and wouldn't show himself in the forests. And there's various theories online as to how you can make him appear by saving beforehand, entering buildings, etc, etc. But he just wasn't having any of it, so we'll come back to him later on and maybe he'll have woken up a bit. But I'm going to finish things off there for today folks, so thanks for joining me. Join me next time as we begin by cracking ahead with more chocographs, which we haven't done in a while, and we'll see where we go from there. But there's some nice items to pick up next time, so make sure you don't miss out. Don't forget to hit the like button and subscribe to the YouTube channel. I will be putting up a saved game for this series on the website, so I'll put a link to that in the video description. Check that out and download it if you need it. It works on both Steam and Android. And until next time guys, take care and I'll see you soon for more Final Fantasy IX.